Hello students, welcome to this new session of Python. In the last session we had studied the scatter plot as well as the parallel coordinates plot. Last time we had also studied about the data frame, here it is, and the categorical attributes. We saw that using the data frame we can have lot of statistics as far as Python is concerned, or as far as reading the data from the CSV file is concerned. Today we are going to study how to draw this parallel coordinates plot, as well as we are going to study how to draw this scatter plot, and we are going to go ahead with something new, that is heat map and few other things. So are you ready? Let's get started. Just to remind you that we are still doing the last unit of our syllabus, Python and data analytics, and from that we are in the first chapter. Basically we are trying to understand how we can do, what are the different methods of doing data analytics. Now, as I said in my previous session, analytics basically is referring to a statistical summary as well as graphical summary, which is going to be useful for future decision making. Now, before we go into today's session, just let us try to go through some of the things that we had studied last time. Remember one more thing, now onwards, in fact since last few sessions we have always been studying one or more new modules as far as Python is concerned. Last time, if you remember, we had studied pandas, CSV, matplotlib we had studied before a while, so probably we are going to continue with this process, but let us go to Python and try to have a look at the data frame. We had written import pandas as PD. Remember, pandas is very useful module as far as doing data summary is concerned, and if you remember just few methods, then you can do a lot of tasks very easily. There is a read CSV method which will read the file pointed by F. F is opening the file, CSV file. The head method will print the specified number of records, the first few specified number of records. Shape will just return the rows and columns, and this is an interesting part. Using the iloc method we can do slicing and indexing the same way that we were doing for the list or tuple. But remember, data frame is a two-dimensional structure, it's not a one-dimensional structure. Yes, if we want to fetch only few columns, we can always do that. The describe also we can use to get the statistics as far as the data is concerned. So in fact, just to repeat, data frames are really useful, and we can have lot of sessions for data frame only. But as far as there is a little bit of ambiguity as far as your syllabus is concerned. Pandas library and SciPy library, stats module, all this are not included as part of your practical study. But when it comes to the last unit, theoretical part, if you want to understand how to draw the graphs or how to get the summary, then these modules are important. Anyways, irrespective of the ambiguity, we are trying to cover all the things as far as your syllabus is concerned. So let us go ahead. Yes, the last thing that we were discussing was scatter plot. Sorry, yes, this one we had stopped over here. But this scatter plot is useful to understand the relationship between attributes and labels or between attributes. Label, uh, you know that attribute is different and label is different as far as Python is concerned. Now, one of the things that we studied last time is parallel coordinates plot for the rock versus mine data set. Remember, just try to recollect, the case study we are taking is of rock and mine data set. Just let me brief you a bit. Let me open the CSV file. It is in, sorry, I opened the wrong file. Sonar data, I should have opened some other file. Yes, this is the CSV file that we are supposed to open. Fine. Now here, this I had shown you in the last session, but basically I want to just explain to you. We were working on this file. Now the case is when sound waves are thrown in the water, based on whether a rock is found or whether a mine is found, different frequencies are reflected back. They are all recorded over here, and finally in the last column we have the classification, that is what was actually found was a rock or was it a mine. The last few records are having mine. The ultimate objective is to remove the mines. Now sorry for the interruption. Yes, this is visualizing the parallel coordinates graph. Just try to observe, this is the 0th column, this is the 10th column, 20th column, 30th, 40th, 50th, and all these columns are there. We'll try to understand this graph in two different ways basically. So let us go to Python and understand how we can draw the graph. Already I have created the graph, so we'll be able to get a clear idea. Now what we do is, this is a program to demonstrate parallel coordinates. Yes, here let me put this in comment first. Now let us make one change. Now let me run this. Some mistake. Yes, actually I should have fine. Now I think it should work. We are working on data frame and the opening of file and the data frame was not taken. This is the exact graph that we are studying as far as the textbook is concerned. Yes, today I will try to pass on the textbook as well. Now can you observe, here little bit of blue lines are visible and here also little bit of blue lines are visible. Now why is it so clumsy? Because there are 208 records and we have taken 61 columns, so that is why it does not actually give a real feel of the of the parallel coordinate plot. It gives a different look at all. Now let us try to understand the program and then we come back, we make some changes to the program. What we are doing, yes, we have to import the modules that we use. CSV because we are reading data from CSV, pandas because we are using data frame, and matplotlib because we want to draw the graph. The first thing, we are opening the sonar data1.csv file and the pointer that is there will be used to create a data frame. Remember, data frame is like a two-dimensional table structure. So now DF is a two-dimensional table structure for I in range 208. Why I am giving 208? Because I want all the rows to be included. What we are doing is, in the last column, if it is M, we are giving one color. If it is not M, that is if it is R, then we are giving another color. Basically, based on the values of the sound waves reflected back, we are, if it's a mine, then we are setting red color because it needs to be removed. If it's a rock, then we are setting blue color. And we are drawing for each and every column. Okay, we are drawing for each and every column. Now that is why if you try to check it out over here, let me execute it once again. Because it's a graph and so many records are there, it may just take a time. Because within a short space so many columns are there, that is why it's difficult to interpret the things correctly. Let us try to make some change, in the sense for you to understand the parallel coordinates plot. Let me give 92, 102, and let me give over here 57 to 60. Now let us try to draw the graph. Yes, now the parallel coordinates are quite visible, and remember, there are lot of libraries with which we can draw this parallel coordinates graph. We have taken column 58, 59 and 60. What you can see is, in attribute column 58, the value is this as far as the CSV file is concerned. For the next attribute, the value is somewhere over here, and for the last one it is somewhere over here. So you can see basically it's almost like lines that are being drawn, but because here we are looking at only 3 columns and only few records, how we can say that? Just try to observe over here, 92 to 102, so 10 records and only this many columns, so it appears clearly. Okay, and what we are doing, again we are just making use of the plot method to easily draw the parallel coordinate plot. Now what we are doing, data row, that means we are picking up one particular record over here as the loop goes in, and we are just giving the X label and the Y label, and plot.show we have to include. Fine. Now let us make some change over here. Let me make it 90 and let me make it 110, and over here let me try to increase the number of columns little bit, say 50, and let us try to check. Now remember, there are several libraries and several methods using which you can draw the parallel coordinates plot. We are just using one or two of them. Now you can see, as the number of columns increase and as the number of rows increase, it starts becoming little bit clumsy, in the sense it is little bit difficult to interpret. But we can say that the rocks are more towards focused on over here, whereas the mines, sorry, I said the reverse, mines are with red and rocks are with blue. So rocks mainly are centered, whereas mines are little bit on top. Fine. Now again we go to the practical part. This is one method in which we can draw the, sorry, I draw the plot. there are few other methods also using which we can draw the plot. We are reading the CSV file. Now I am taking another data frame where I am storing some data in it, and then yes, I am using this time pandas method. Last time I have used the plot method, which is part of matplotlib. Right now I am using the pandas method, so yes, a little bit of change will be there in the sense which methods you are using from which module. So pd.plotting.parallel coordinates, the first argument is the set of data that you are passing. Now this is interesting. Why I have given column 61? Because based on it, it will give colors red or blue. Column 61 contains categorical values R and M. So I have specified column 61. So here you need to specify the column which contains categorical values and based on which the graph can be drawn. Just let us try to check it. I am just printing the output of dfnew. Almost similar output we get, just that the attributes have a single vertical line as well, but because depending upon the number of rows or columns that are taken, here I think I have taken the reverse color, that is why the graph is coming in a different way. Red for rock and blue for mine, so that is why the things are coming little bit in a different way. But basically doing anything is Python very simple. The code is also short. As you can observe, you need to remember just plotting.parallel coordinates, two methods, and your graph is ready. So this was about the parallel coordinates plot. It's difficult to interpret when the structure is clumsy, but you should know how to draw it. Yes, when we want to find out the relationship between two attributes, we can make use of the scatter plot. I told you last time, I explained in the last session that a good positive relation, perfect positive, means a straight line. If there are few dots over here, that means it's a strong positive relation. I hope you are able to observe the dots on both the sides of the line basically. But basically if you can see, it is the points are very close on both sides of the line. Basically you can indicate, you can observe within this particular area. The red ones that I have created, that is a strong positive correlation. But with the points scattered over here, which is far away from the line, and even so over here and some points over here, we say that the correlation is not positive, but in fact very less correlation is there between the given set of attributes. Now again, to draw a scatter plot or a clause plot is quite simple as far as Python is concerned. So let us try to check it out, and if you get a practical on that, then again it is simple. You just need to remember one particular method, scatter, and you can draw this plot. So let us go back to Python. Let me close this graph. Here let me open the file, and we have scatter plot over here. Again the procedure is the same. You are making use of two libraries, Panda and matplotlib. Now yes, what we are doing, we are opening the file, we are reading the data from the CSV file, and it is stored in a two-dimensional structure which is data frame. What we want to basically do is, we want to cross plot or scatter plot the values of two columns. That means if this is a point on the graph, it will have some x coordinate and it will have some y coordinate. Now x coordinate is the value that is there in attribute 2, which is there over here, and y coordinate is the value of attribute 3, which is there over here on the y axis. So what we need to do is we need to separate out the values of second attribute and third attribute in some variable, and that is the task that we are doing over here as far as practicals are concerned. Yes, again we can use the make use of the iloc method. Row 2 equals 1. Why I have taken 1? Because the attribute numbers start, that is the indexing starts from 0. So if 0 is the first column, 1 will be the second column. Same way 2 because the third column. And why 0 to 60? I want what I want is, yes, one particular row, one particular column, but all the rows. Just try to observe over here. Let us just try to check it out. So this is row 2 and this is row 3. Let us try to execute and check whether the graph is proper or not. Yes, this is the second attribute and this is the third attribute value. They are scattered in the same way as it is shown in the PPT, and because they are scattered far away, we say that they are not positively correlated with each other. That means the values of second attribute and third attribute are not positively correlated. Now let us try to understand the program. Basically with iloc we are extracting the values and storing it in one particular row. The only method that you need to remember is scatter. Scatter is there in pyplot or it is there in matplotlib, and when you use scatter you have to pass on the names of the two variables which contain the column data or the row data, and you can easily try to draw the graph that you have. Just let us try to check the presentation that we have. Let me clear up yes, now I have cleared up all the ink here also. Fine. So now you can see that here the second attribute and the 21st attribute is taken. Here the second attribute and the third attribute are taken. If you try to observe the output, once again I think I have closed the graph. So let us try to execute. Yes, if you try to observe this, it is almost similar to the one shown in the PowerPoint over here. The values are quite scattered. So it tells us whether the attributes are positively correlated or not. Now let us try to change the attribute number over here. Say for example I am taking 10th, and so I should put over here, 10th means I need to take 11, and here I need to put 10th. So now let us try to check how is the correlation between 10th and third attribute. Oh, not at all correlated. The points are all scattered. If you try to draw a straight line which goes from year to year, the points are all scattered. So again, this way we can try to find the relationship or the correlationship between the attributes. Now that is one part of analytics and why it is important. So let us go back to our presentation. just yes, basically if the points in the scatter plot lie along a thin straight line, the two variables are highly correlated. If they form a ball of points, they are uncorrelated. So we saw that the points are uncorrelated. So I am trying to keep this session a short session. Just to recollect little bit, we have studied how to draw the parallel coordinates plot, and we have studied how to draw the scatter plot. Parallel coordinates plot using methods from pandas, plotting dot parallel coordinates, and also the method from matplotlib. The box plot we have studied, sorry, the scatter plot we have studied using method from matplotlib. So we end this session over here. In the next session we are going to study something, yes, first related to heat map, that is how the correlation between the two attributes can be used further, and we are going to take up one more case study. So we end this session over here. Thank you.